What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're actually taking a look at something I didn't think I would be able to find for a while. We're going to be taking a look at the Thor Love and Thunder Starlord and Groot Marvel Legends by Hasbro. So went into Walmart not really looking for these. I was actually looking for some dinosaur figures. Found these just sitting there, and these are the only two I wanted from the wave, so I was like, hell yeah. I was definitely going to get Groot. I debated on Starlord for a while, but then I was like, whatever, he's here, you know, whatever, let's go for it. So we got these here, and they look awesome. I don't have a teenage Groot in my collection, and Groot was my favorite superhero for a while, so I have like mostly all of his Marvel Legends, so to finally get him is awesome. Thor on the side and the back looks great. Starlord looks awesome. He looks like a badass there, but I am noticing he does not have a helmet with this version, so is Starlord out with the helmet? Who knows? That is hilarious. It just says I am Groot. That's pretty funny. And then here is Starlord's read up. If you would like to read that, you can go pause that for all your languages. There's Starlord's barcode. There's Groot's barcode. On the top, they have the broken Mjolnir, which is pretty cool. So I won't be getting anybody else from the wave. There's the wave if you guys are interested. I did see the Thor there too. That was the only ones that I saw. But again, not really interested, and Korg, who wanted another Korg. But without further ado, let's go ahead and open these guys up. So taking these guys out of the package, I gotta say, they are more well done than I initially thought they would be. I'm not like crazy into the MCU figures, but there are a few exceptions, Captain America being the main one, Black Panther being a close, it's up there, but my first love was the Guardians of the Galaxy. While Captain America has become my favorite superhero over time, the Guardians are what really got me. So getting figures of them is never a chore for me. There's a little bit of reuse on Starlord, but actually a little bit more new sculpt than I would have thought. And I didn't have this group before. I know he was in the 3-pack with Thor and Rocket for Infinity War, which he comes with one of the same accessories, but he comes with 2 new awesome-ass accessories. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. I'm actually going to start with the Korg Build-A-Figure parts that I have. The body looks really good, and that ram or the goat or whatever it is looks really cool. Groot comes with the body, and Starlord comes with the right arm of Korg. He is a brand new sculpt completely, so the straps look good. The sculpting work looks nice. All the pads and stuff look and feel great. I like the way that the pants look. He's a very unique design. Of course, you know, Hasbro doesn't paint the back of their figures very often, so the pants don't have that there. But you get this glued on piece, which overall this looks nice. I'm not going to be keeping this. I'm definitely going to go ahead and sell this. So if you're interested in these parts because you don't want Groot or Starlord, which I think would be a pretty common thing for this wave, go ahead and hit me up on Mercari. I will be selling these. My Mercari is at Zach Toys. If you're interested in this, you know, hit me up. And if you're part of the channel, I'll, you know, say you're from the channel, I'll give you a little discount on it. But we're going to go ahead and start with Starlord just because he's my lesser favorite of the 2. And he's a little bit more reused than Groot is. So taking a look at that head sculpt there, that is Chris Pratt. I'm a Chris Pratt simp. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love Chris Pratt. I loves me some Chris Pratt. So getting this figure is awesome. And this head sculpt looks really, really nice. I like the beard. I like the head sculpt. And I like the hair. Looks nice. He does have new arms, new pinless arms. Because if you saw in the back of the box, he's sporting this new gold look armor on his arms. So that looks really cool. They're pinless, which is nice. And then he has different color padding. But that actually may be intentional for this. Not sure. No paint on the back whatsoever to speak of. These little things could be painted in, but they're not. He's got like this different color on the pad. He's got blue running down here, which seems to be a nod to his original look, which I like. He has this vest under here, which is a new sculpt. It looks like you could take this strap off. You definitely can. So you can take this strap off if you want. I'm not going to, but then if you look under here, he does have like this vest underneath here. So let me go ahead, try to get this off for you. Just take the coat off. And then if you want to take this vest off, you just got like an ab crunch under there, which, I don't know, I might, can this come off here? No, it's glued, but I might take this off. I don't know, because that could kind of look cool just underneath the body. So, I don't know, your mileage will vary on that, what you want to do and not do. You know, it's just totally personal preference on your end, but it doesn't seem like it. And then, you know, obviously the sleeves are going to match the jacket, so it doesn't really matter if that little undervest is on there or not. So if you wanted to take it off, you probably could. Might look at that later on, but otherwise, I mean, the figure looks really good. You know, do we need another Starlord? Probably not, but you know, it's Starlord, man. So I like the silver on the bandolier. That looks nice. The zipper looks painted. There's a lot of paint underneath there, which I do appreciate. But I think from the waist down, he is reused. Maybe new boots, at least new top boots. I know his feet are reused, but maybe like the shin parts I think might be reused. But I definitely know the legs are. Because they're not pinless, and I've had a couple Starlord figures before, so I think he looks really good for what he's supposed to be. I just can't get over how good that head sculpt is. And then the only accessories he comes with are his element guns, which they look really nice as always. I'm pretty sure they're the same sculpt as well. It's weird that they have a different paint job every movie, though. I never got the original Starlord from the movie. I would like that, because I love Chris Pratt, and Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel movie. To this day, Spider-Man Far From Home was really good. Endgame and Infinity War are obviously really great. And I love Captain America, but I think it'll always be a personal favorite of mine just because I never really knew the characters too well until I saw the movie, and then I fell in love with the characters the first time I watched it. Seeing that in theaters was just a spectacle for me. Let me know what your favorite MCU movie in the comments is. I would like to know personally. You don't have to say what's the objective best one. No, I don't care about none of that shit. I want to know what your favorite is. So this looks awesome. As always, I think he looks really cool, just, blasting his guns. But it is interesting to see that he does not come with a helmeted head sculpt. Is he giving up the helmet? Is he getting a new one? Who knows? Because if you look on the back of his ear, they did do the effort to paint silver behind his ear to where they show, like, the mask is there. So, I don't know, because it's not on the other side, which is a really interesting thing to paint. But, he does look good. Just because we're doing two figures, you guys know how I run it. We're going to do the articulation at once. So the head is really stiff on mine, but it's going to look up far enough. Down, swivel, side to side, and then a good pivot. The new arms go up that much down, rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed, pinless elbows that go in that far, which looks and works great. Wrist swivel and horizontal hands because these are reused. Would have liked to see new hands. The jacket does not get in the way very much, so he can crunch down pretty far back, or pretty far forward and back. Waist swivel. The hips will only move out that far because he has those like gun holster things, which I'll show that in a second actually. He'll kick forward that far, down. Thigh swivel. Let me fix the jacket. Double jointed knees. And then calf swivel, right? Do we have that? I don't want to break it. Yeah, calf swivel. And then the ankles move down, up, and pivot. And then like I was just showing, these can clip on here. Can they? Actually, interesting. They don't. These might be a new sculpt because I know the other ones for a fact clip on there pretty good. I mean, you could get them to stay on there, but that's interesting. Let me know if they're a new sculpt. But yeah, because I don't have my other one I can barrier. But yeah, he looks really good. I like the paint on the boots and everything. So not bad for a Starlord figure, especially considering of how many we got. So this is pretty cool. But the one I was more excited for was definitely Groot, because like I said, I never got that 3-pack. I saw it a couple times, but I skipped on it because I didn't want the Thor at the time, and I didn't feel like I needed another Rocket, but this Groot was awesome, but I also didn't want to pay more to get this Groot. So now that I have Potted Groot, Baby Groot, Teenage Groot, and Big Groot, we need a super, like, King Groot style figure. There's been a rumor going around for the longest time that in Guardians of the Galaxy 4, Groot is going to be bigger than he was in the first one, which would be incredible to see. I like Baby Groot to an extent, but they killed it for me, and I'm sick of Baby Groot. I want big monster Groot, so hopefully we can get that again. But looking at this figure here, the head sculpt looks great. I love how the green is painted, like faded at the top. I like the little slouch that he has. There's just no paint on the back. Hasbro, come on. A little bit of moss on the back, something. But they don't do that, of course. I think with a little bit of paintwork, this figure could look amazing. The sculpt is there. It's just barely any paint on this guy. I guess they saved budget on him. I don't know. I like his little scrawny build. He doesn't have much in the way of articulation, which we'll talk about in a second, but that's okay for this one. I think it totally works. Now, where this Groot surprised me was with the amount of accessories he gets. So he's going to get a gun. This is more an Infinity War style thing. I don't know if he's going to have this in a new movie. There's not a single dab of paint on there to be mentioned, but he does come with the trigger hand for that particular gun, which looks nice. There's a little bit of paint on the hand, which is cool, but you do it's a kind of a squishy gun, so it should be pretty easy to get in his hand. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go right here, actually. So go in there. Boom. And then you can plug it into the hand here, which looks pretty nice. So I like the way that that turned out. You know, I wasn't like, I mean, this wave was like kind of just shown. It was never even like officially announced, and then all of a sudden somebody just found it. So looks pretty cool, but you know, he doesn't really hold the gun very well, so he's kind of just gonna be like one of the one-handed poses. But what I do really like is the other alternate hands that he has. So you pop them out, and then you could put in these tree extensions, which these were not part of the first release of this figure, and I didn't see this in the package until I opened it. You get a second one, so they can go on either hand. There's a hinge on there, so they can swivel and hinge either way that you want them to. But that is freaking sick. Like, that looks so well done. Even like the actual big Groot didn't have this, I don't think. So did it? No, it didn't. So that looks really, really cool. Very well done. The paint on there looks really nice. You get all the leaves and the vines all painted green. So yeah, that is really made this figure for me, actually. Like, I was happy to get it, but not like incredibly stoked. But now I kind of am. So yeah, I really like the way that that looks, and I think that it's a really nice touch on Hasbro's part, considering there's barely any paint on here, and it's a, you know, total reuse of a body mold they already had. So going over articulation on this guy, the head's on a ball hinge, so it'll go up, down, pivot side to side a little bit, and rotate. The shoulder moves outwards that far, down, rotate 360, single jointed elbow that does swivel, and then all the wrists swivel and hinge back and forth, including the accessory hands. The body will crunch backwards that much back, this much forward, sorry, rotate and pivot, so you get pretty good rocking motion with that. Now they're just on balls for the hips, so they'll go out that far, which isn't bad at all. They are prone to fall out, so just be careful with that. He'll kick forward that far back. No thigh cut, but it'll rotate on the ball, so that should be plenty for you. And then you do get a single jointed knee that does rotate, so it could make up for the lack of a thigh swivel. And then the ankle, if that's what you want to call it, goes up and down and pivots. And I do like the sculpt on the bottom of the foot, by the way, but I think that is perfect articulation for this. I mean, would I like doubles? Yeah. But is it completely necessary? No. He also does not come with like his little tablet thing that he had in Infinity War. So just keep that in mind. If that's what you're looking for, then he's not going to have that. So yeah, I think this looks pretty good overall, though. So yeah, I think these figures turned out a lot better than I thought. I'm not going to do any comparisons. There's nothing worth comparing them to here. Starlord's standard size and Groot's a little bit smaller than that. So judge your stuff based off of that. But other than that, these figures look pretty good. Starlord has a decent amount of paint on him. Groot barely has any, but Groot has good accessories, and Starlord barely has any. So they work on each other in different ways. But if I was to give these figures a rating, Starlord's going to get a 6 out of 10 for me. I always like Starlord with the mask a little bit more, despite how good that head sculpt is. Just personal preference, and I don't like that the guns don't clip on. Not a big fan of that, and the legs could have been pinless, so it's just a bunch of little nitpicky shit, but for the most part, I'm still happy with the figure. As for Groot, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. A little more paint would have went a long way, and maybe a little bit better articulation, but the sculpt is there, and the accessories make up for the lack of what I said. But other than that, you know, I think that's all I got. So if you have not already, please do yourself the favor and me and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated when you do so. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. If you're not already, I have a lot of fun over there, so I'm sure you will too. But I believe that's all I got for today. So as always, I bear the question. You coppin'? Let me know. See you guys in the next one. Peace.